Even though the flames are out, I can still see some smoke behind you.
That's right, Bob. What you see behind me is some garbage that is still smoldering, according to officials. They tell me that there are still some hot pockets in this landfill, but as far as flames, those are all out, they tell me, and this amount of smoke is certainly a lot less than what we saw Wednesday when this all started early in the morning. Take a look at this. Overnight Wednesday, about an acre of land was ablaze here at the Earth Movers Waste Management site with black smoke billowing out of it. Of course, firefighters are on standby and Waste Management is monitoring the area to keep this fire from restarting. Yesterday, we were told the EPA would make an air quality report available to the public. That didn't happen yesterday. I asked the fire chief why the EPA hasn't been at the media briefings or released their report yet.
They're monitoring and collecting the samples. So in order for them to actually put out the documentation, they have got to go and bring in the samples so they can go in there and analytically test them and then put it into readable literature so that way we can all understand.
Again, officials said over the past couple days they haven't detected any amount of particulates of concern for people's breathing in the air, but they are asking people to use your judgment and shelter in place if you do have serious lung problems. As for trash pickup, the Elkhart County landfill just across the way is picking up this trash that would normally go to this site behind me until further notice. I'll be looking for that air quality report from the EPA today and following up on that and what that means for you. Live in Elkhart County, I'm Molly Jurasek, WSBT 22 News. They did, Jennifer, and it was here at the Concord Fire Station 2 off of County Road 26 where crews set up their command center on Wednesday. The air quality report says this is where conditions were the worst. Over the phone, an EPA rep tells me they found the most volatile organic compounds here. That's the data you'll find online at the Elkhart County Sheriff Department's website. I'm told all that information is from air monitoring tests, not air samples. I'm told the air samples are being sent back to labs in Chicago and Cincinnati to determine exactly what possible chemicals could be in the air. For the first time today, we heard from a waste management spokesman. We asked how the landfill ensures that no hazardous materials are being brought in.
You know, we're regulated both by the Indiana Department of Environmental Management and the EPA, and they govern our operating guidelines, you know, what we can receive, how we receive it, and we continually work with them on protocol.
That rep from Waste Management tells me they are working to find the cause of that fire, which is now nothing but smoke, actually. He says what they accept here is much of what you might find in your kitchen trash can, plus some construction materials. Live in Elkhart County, I'm Molly Jurasek, WSBT 22 News. Rick, EPA trucks have been set up around the area here, and they've been monitoring the air quality, and they'll continue to do that for the time being. The report they posted online shows the areas most affected by particulate matter. That area mainly hits neighborhoods northeast of the waste management site behind me here on County Road 26. The command center for crews at Concord Fire Station 2 was one of the hardest hit areas with the data. With all the water they've used to fight the fire, we wanted to ask Waste Management if people should be concerned about the groundwater.
You know, there's no concern due to groundwater, and indeed that's why the Indiana Department of Environmental Management is there, and of course EPA personnel are there as well. They have protective liners on the lower levels underneath the main part of the landfill.
As for what specific chemicals could be in the smoke that's been emanating from the landfill, the EPA tells me that they've sent samples to their labs in Chicago and Cincinnati, and they'll be posting those online with their report as soon as those results come back. Live in Elkhart County, I'm Molly Jurasek, WSBT 22 News. Jennifer, the EPA tells me that the most volatile organic compounds they found were over at Concord Fire Station number 2. And that's where crews set up their command center on Wednesday. We've put the entire EPA report on WSBT.com for you, but what's contained in that report is pretty hard to understand right now.
The flames are out.
That's good news on day 3 of the Earth Movers landfill fire. Now the EPA is trying to figure out just what was in the air while the fire burned.
The data that is collected, it's not an immediate type of analysis. They've got to go in there and put them into models. They've got to do the research as to what's going on and collectively establish this where it can be read in terms that the ordinary person can read this.
You'll see the report includes specific locations where the air is being monitored, like schools and hospitals. It also shows spot check locations. EPA reps tell me those are random areas tested based on the direction the smoke was traveling. But it doesn't say what chemicals could have been in the air from all this smoke. Waste Management says it's unlikely there was anything hazardous in the landfill.
You can't just drive into that site with a truckload of material unless we know what's in it.
Tom Horton with Waste Management says they have government regulations about what they can accept.
The best way I could describe the materials that come into that site is if you would go into your kitchen and pull open the drawer where your trash container is. That's the majority of the material that comes into that site.
The EPA says while it's monitoring particulates in the air, the types of chemicals that could be in the air will come out in later reports online after they get air sample results back from Chicago and Cincinnati. I asked the Elkhart County health officer if schools are safe to resume outdoor activities over the weekend, whether it's athletic events or other activities, and he said that should be fine for this weekend. Live in Elkhart County, I'm Molly Jurasek, WSPT 22 News.